Imagine stepping into a world where the future and the past exist side by side. Beyond Japan's buzzing neon lights and towering skyscrapers, there's a whole other side waiting to be discovered. A side full of untouched beauty and quiet charm. Forget the usual tourist spots for a second. In this video, we're taking you off the beaten path to explore 10 of Japan's most breathtaking villages. Biei, Hokkaido. Biei feels like stepping into a postcard, with rolling hills stretching endlessly, draped in colorful flower fields that glow under the sun. No matter where the eyes wander, the views are nothing short of breathtaking. This little town is so stunning, it's been featured in countless commercials and TV shows. Even the trees have their own fan base. Some have become landmarks, drawing visitors eager to see these natural icons up close. One of Biei's most mesmerizing sights is the Patchwork Road, a scenic route that winds through fields and flower gardens, creating a landscape that looks like a giant patchwork quilt. In summer and fall, the colors are almost unreal. Along the way, a few must-see spots stand out, like the Ken and Mary poplar tree, made famous by a car commercial. Then there's Mild 7 Hill and 7 Stars Hill, both named after cigarette ads from back in the day. For a panoramic view that captures it all, the Hokusai Hill Observatory, shaped like a pyramid, offers a breathtaking vantage point. South of Patchwork Road, Panorama Road unfolds with another stretch of jaw-dropping scenery. Shikisai Hill is the highlight here, a massive flower park bursting with every color imaginable. With the seasons constantly shifting the floral display, the view is always fresh, always stunning. Walking through the park, with mountains towering in the background, feels like stepping into a dream. A little farther south, Kano Farm offers yet another incredible floral spectacle. It's especially famous for its lavender fields, which transform the landscape into a sea of purple in the summer. Tsurui, Hokkaido. Tsurui is the kind of village that feels like a secret, tucked away in eastern Hokkaido. It sits right on the edge of Kushiro Shitsugen National Park, surrounded by open fields and endless sky. There aren't any big city lights here, just nature at its purest. But what truly sets this place apart is something rare, something almost mythical, the red-crowned crane. These birds aren't just beautiful, they carry deep meaning. In Japan, they stand for good fortune and longevity, but for a time, they were nearly wiped out. Then came the conservation efforts, years of dedication, and now, around 1,000 of them live here year-round. Birdwatchers and photographers travel from all over just for a chance to see them, especially at the Tsurui Ito Tancho Crane Sanctuary. And in winter, the scene becomes something out of a dream. Hundreds of cranes gather, moving as if they're part of some ancient rhythm, leaping and bowing in a dance that is played out for generations. But Tsurui isn't just about the cranes. Every season paints the village in a different light. Spring brings cherry blossoms, soft pink petals drifting through the air. Summer turns the fields a deep, rich green, with deer and foxes moving through the tall grass. Then comes fall, when the trees explode into brilliant shades of orange and red. Kitashiobara, Fukushima. Kitashiobara sits deep in the mountains of Fukushima Prefecture. And what makes it even more fascinating is that the town itself was formed by merging 3 even smaller villages. Today, it's a true winter wonderland, with skiers flocking to its snow-covered slopes as the mountains turn into a postcard-perfect scene. Right at the foot of Mount Bandai, the trails here offer some of the most breathtaking views. From the top, Lake Inawashiro stretches out like a mirror, perfectly reflecting the sky. But that's just the beginning. In the northern part of town, 3 stunning lakes, Onogawa, Akimoto, and Haibara, each bring their unique beauty. The real showstopper, though, is the Goshikinuma Nature Trail. The ponds along the path shimmer in unbelievable colors, emerald green, deep blues, even striking reds. For art lovers, Kitashiobara has one more surprise. Hidden in this mountain town is the Morohashi Museum, home to the 3rd largest collection of Salvador Dali's work in the world. And that's not all. The museum also features pieces by legends like Van Gogh, Picasso, and Matisse. Higashinaruse, Akita. Nestled away in the mountains of Japan, Higashinaruse is a tiny town of just 3,000 people, surrounded by endless forests and rice fields. The rivers and lakes here are so clear they almost don't seem real. And for anyone who loves fishing, it's paradise. Trout and char practically leap from the water. Natural springs bubble up from the earth, feeding into peaceful hot spring resorts. And the waterfalls, absolutely stunning. Right on the edge of town, the Fudo waterfall tumbles down like something out of a dream, while the towering 20-meter Tensho waterfall is a sight to behold. Higashinaruse experiences all 4 seasons in their full glory. Spring and summer paint the forests in vibrant green, but autumn is when the town truly shines. The trees burst into fiery shades of orange and red, turning the landscape into a masterpiece. Then comes winter, bringing heavy snowfall, about 2 meters every year. The town transforms into a winter wonderland, drawing skiers to Jeunesse Kurikoma ski resort, where the powder is nothing short of perfection. And when night falls, the sky puts on a show of its own. In 1999, Higashinaruse was named the town with the most beautiful starry sky in all of Japan. Kiso, Nagano. The town of Kiso sits quietly among the towering peaks of the Central Alps. To the west, Mount Ontake rises over the landscape, adding to the town's dramatic backdrop. Kiso is steeped in history, once serving as a key stop along the Nakasendo Highway, a centuries-old road that connected Kyoto and Tokyo. Back then, it was known as Yabuhara-juku, one of many post towns where weary travelers could rest before continuing their journey. One of the most popular sections is the Nakasendo Torii Touge Pass, a breathtaking trail that winds through a forest of chestnut trees, linking the historic towns of Yabuhara-juku and Narai-juku. Along the way, well-preserved wooden houses and shops make it feel like stepping into another era. Another incredible spot is the Mizukizawa Natural Forest, where towering cypress trees, some hundreds of years old, create a breathtaking canopy. And when winter arrives, the mountains around Higashinaruse transform into a snowy paradise, with a ski resort offering slopes for everyone, from beginners to experts. Hayakawa, Yamanashi. Hayakawa is a tiny tucked-away town deep in the Japanese Alps. With only about 1,050 residents according to recent reports, it holds the title of Japan's smallest town. The place is like something out of a storybook. Traditional wooden buildings, towering mountains, and scenery so breathtaking it hardly seems real. But autumn is when Hayakawa truly shines, as the trees burst into fiery shades of orange and red, turning the entire landscape into a masterpiece. One of the town's most famous spots is Akasawa, where old houses and temples stand frozen in time, perfectly preserved just as they were centuries ago. Back in the day, weary pilgrims would stop here on their way to Mount Shichiman, a sacred peak that required a long and difficult journey. And for those looking to slow down and soak it all in, traditional Japanese inns offer a cozy place to rest beneath a sky full of stars. But perhaps the most incredible thing about Hayakawa is that it's home to the oldest hotel in the world. Nishiyama Onsen has been welcoming guests for over 1,300 years, making it a living piece of history in this quiet mountain town. Nagiso, Nagano. Nagiso is a place where history comes to life, with beautifully preserved old houses lining the ancient Nakasendo Road. Surrounded by mountains and dense forests, it's a paradise for nature lovers, with trails that wind through breathtaking scenery. One of the most stunning routes leads to Tadachi Falls, a mesmerizing series of 7 cascading waterfalls that feel almost otherworldly. Nagiso is also the starting point for one of the most unforgettable hikes in the area. The trail meanders toward Tsumago, a town that looks like it was lifted straight from the Edo period. From there, a 2-hour walk takes you to another historic gem, Magame. Both towns have been so carefully preserved that walking through them feels like stepping back in time. Tsumago in particular is something special. Its streets are lined with old wooden houses, traditional shops, and ancient temples, all carefully maintained to keep their historical charm. There's even a former inn where an emperor once stayed, adding to the town's rich story. And right next door, a museum offers a fascinating look into what life was like in this region hundreds of years ago. Ine, Kyoto. Ine is a charming little fishing town tucked away in the north of Kyoto Prefecture, sitting quietly on a beautiful bay. What really makes Ine stand out are its famous funaya, traditional fishermen's houses built right over the water. These aren't just for show. They've been around for centuries, designed so boats can dock right underneath while families live on the upper floors. With over 200 of these funaya lining the shore, the town is almost unreal. But Ine isn't just about the picture-perfect scenery. It's a real working fishing port, and the industry here is still going strong. For those who love a good drink, the town has another surprise, Mukai Sake Brewery. This place has been crafting sake since 1754, and they're known for something truly unique, Inemankai, a red sake made from red rice. It's not just a local favorite either. This special sake was even served to world leaders at the G20 summit in Osaka in 2019. Totsukawa, Nara. Totsukawa is a hidden treasure located deep in the mountains of Nara Prefecture. Surprisingly, it's the largest village in Japan by area, but with only about 4,000 people living there, it has that peaceful small-town charm. Steaming hot springs, dense forests, towering mountains, and waterfalls that seem to appear out of nowhere make it a nature lover's dream. Totsukawa sits along an ancient pilgrimage route that has been traveled for over 1,000 years. One of its greatest treasures is the Tamaki Shrine, perched high on Mount Tamaki. A UNESCO World Heritage Site, it's surrounded by towering cedar trees, some more than 3,000 years old. Then there's the Tanai Suspension Bridge, stretching 297 meters long and hanging 54 meters above the river. It's an absolute marvel. And the views? Simply unreal. For an even higher vantage point, the Moriyama observation deck offers another breathtaking look at the landscape. And then there's the Sasanataki Waterfall, one of Japan's 100 best waterfalls. Tucked inside a bamboo forest, it's almost like the kind of place that doesn't even need a filter. And of course, no trip to Totsukawa is complete without a soak in its famous hot springs. Tosenji Onsen, ranked among Japan's 100 best hot springs, is the perfect way to unwind. Yoshino, Nara. Yoshino, tucked away in Japan, is best known for its cherry blossoms, and for good reason. Mount Yoshino is covered with over 30,000 cherry trees, and when they bloom, the entire mountain transforms into a sea of pink. It's one of the most famous cherry blossom spots in the country, and even holds the honor of being a UNESCO World Heritage Site. But Yoshino isn't just a springtime wonder. In autumn, the mountains erupt in fiery shades of orange and red, turning the landscape into something straight out of a painting. Summer brings a completely different kind of beauty, with lush greenery and vibrant hydrangeas blooming all over. No matter the season, Yoshino has this almost magical quality that makes it unforgettable. Scattered throughout the town are parks and lookout points offering some of the best views of the blossoms and the rolling mountains beyond. The streets are lined with little shops selling souvenirs and local treats, along with cozy restaurants, hotels, and centuries-old temples and shrines. One of Yoshino's most treasured landmarks is Yoshimizu Shrine. Originally built in the 8th century, it carries a deep history, so much so that an emperor even lived there in the 14th century. Today, it houses a collection of historical artifacts, and just like the rest of Yoshino, offers breathtaking views of the cherry blossoms dot. These are just a handful of the beautiful villages Japan has to offer, each with its own charm, history, and unforgettable scenery. But there's so much more waiting to be explored. Have you visited any of these places? Or do you have a hidden favorite of your own? Let us know in the comments, and as always, thanks for watching. We'll see you in the next one.